This video is designed to help you start a bus business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's a bus business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful bus business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. When you are thinking about establishing a bus company, keep in mind what you will need to learn, research, and earn before you get started. It is critical to prioritize laying a solid foundation, since ignoring any of these crucial parts might lead to stress later. Create your business plan. Before you start writing a bus business plan, make sure you know everything there is to know about the sector. Buses are only a tiny part of the transportation service sector. Whether you supply land, maritime, or air transportation, each business model has its own set of rules, strategies, and expenses. A taxi firm, for example, has a cheaper launch cost than a charter bus company since the cars are less expensive. As a result, you should evaluate your budget and business goals before creating a business plan. A passenger transportation company plan includes an executive summary that describes the services, target market, and objectives. You should also include a summary of your company's essential features in the report. Aspects such as the company's name, location, objective statement, costs, business predictions, competition analysis, and so on are all essential. In addition, this business plan document will keep your investors informed and assist you with a continuous action plan. Choose a business model. To begin a bus business, you must first determine your desired business model. You will need a thorough grasp of the transportation business to execute this. To fully comprehend what this means, we must first define what the transportation industry comprises. It encompasses far more than the most convenient modes of transportation, including taxis, buses, and airport shuttles. It also covers, among other things, limousine services, delivery or courier services, cruises, ferry boats, and ride-sharing services. This knowledge broadens your horizons and helps you select the ideal model for your needs. Choose a business name. The selection of a business name should be done with care. This is because the name you select will reveal a lot about your company. In other words, the image that your desired name creates will impact how profitable and successful your company becomes. There are a few pointers to consider while naming your bus company. These include avoiding difficult-to-spell names, ensuring that the name you chose does not limit or restrict future development, and doing a comprehensive web search for name availability. Obtaining a COM domain name, choosing a meaningful name, conducting a trademark search, completing a Secretary of State name search, gathering advice on the name, and evaluating if your intended name is memorable, are some other recommendations. Arrange for finances. There are essentially 5 methods for raising capital for your bus company. Bootstrapping. The first and most typical approach is to utilize your financial resources, such as your bank account funds or credit cards. Make careful, though, that you do not get caught up in the moment, and forget to keep track of your assets. Do not go crazy with your money, you will need it for your family's requirements as well. Ask friends and family. Apart from your savings, your family and friends who enthusiastically support your concept can help you raise additional cash to operate the firm. Request a loan or allow them to invest in your business, in exchange for a portion of the earnings. It is a viable strategy, especially if they are being asked to do too much. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a method of reaching out to a larger group of people willing to support your concept. So, you may put yourself in a position where you can ask interested parties to invest in your company concept. You can visualize the impact of most people who agree with you. When you have enough money to run your firm, use the steps outlined previously to spend it. Now that the company is still young, it is best to keep spending a minimum. Rather than owning office space, you might start with low-rent rentals in your garage and work your way up. Angel investors. Angel investors are the next best thing after crowdfunding. Have you ever seen the shows Shark Tank or Dragon's Den? That is the televised equivalent of an angel investing strategy. Angel investment is the polar opposite of crowdfunding in its primary principle. Instead of asking a broad group of people for little sums, ask a small group, or person, of affluent investors for a considerable sum. In exchange, they want convertible debt or equity in the firm. Bank loan. What if you require a larger sum of money than any of the previous choices can provide? Then you use the old-fashioned route and go to banks or other financial institutions to get a loan for the amount you need, no matter how large or little it is. However, keep in mind that, in most circumstances, these institutions are just interested in receiving the interest on the loan they have been provided. As a result, You must be required to provide an equal valued security for the loan. The next part of the video is not specific to the bus business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the bus business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful bus business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these 2 extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice, may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive, based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into two parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running a bus business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free bus business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.